anybody in India who can henceforth say, break the Rama Setu. If anyone says, the second illegality in the project is that any project which is more than 5 crores, which involves something to do with the coastal area, ocean, has to get the NOC of the state government of that area. And in this case it is Tamil Nadu. So in 2005 the state government was headed by Jayalalitha, and the central government asked for NOC. Jayalalitha then appointed a committee to go into the question whether NOC should be given. She appointed a former head of the National Institute of Ocean Technology, Mr. Ravindran, to examine. He came out with a fact report saying that this environmental report which the government is using is totally flawed, the data are bogus, and the following additional investigation must be done and a report must be given. Then only NOC to be given or not given is to be considered. So they flatly refused to give the NOC. But despite that, the government disregarded that and went and inaugurated the project. So in fact, the Prime Minister and Sonia Gandhi and Karunanidhi committed a crime under the law, because it's a violation of the environmental law. There's a punishment there also, and by going and inaugurating this project. So there's no NOC, and therefore the project is illegal. Third thing is that you require NOC also from the Maritime Board as well as the Coast Guard on the security angle. They never got that. They didn't even apply for it. And they went ahead and... So this is the third illegality. Fourth... Huh?
They rule the country.
Yeah, they rule the country. You allow them to rule the country also. So the fourth thing is that since the route is just on the border between India and Sri Lanka, that is the medial line in the ocean, therefore there is a UN law of the sea 1968 which says that where such projects are taken, there should be a joint determination of the environmental consequences of that project. India has never consulted Sri Lanka, and therefore the Sri Lankan government has been going on writing letters to the government of India saying, please do a joint inspection with us. They have not done it. Sri Lanka has the power to go to the International Court of Justice in Hague and ask the International Court of Justice in Hague to appoint a third-party investigator of the environmental sustainability of the project. The Sri Lankan governments have not done it. The High Commissioner wrote me a letter which I read out in court saying that so far we have not done it, but when we lose hope, we shall certainly do it. So I told the court that even if you give clearance, the Sri Lankan government is going to go to the court and there will be an immediate stay from the International Court of Justice. So these the four illegalities are there. And what a disregard of the law by the government of India has taken place. And what for? So that Rama Setu can be broken. And this mentality, one has to understand why. They say it's a mythical thing, it is a man-made thing. Well, you haven't done an investigation, how do you know? Tomorrow you do an investigation, you may find out that in fact it is not mythical, it is a reality. For example, for 150 years the Englishman was making fun of the Vedas, saying it is all bogus because Vedas are full of prayers to Saraswati river, and there is no Saraswati river. In fact, Ganga references are very few in Veda. The Saraswati references are maximum, and it's a very Saraswati river. There is no Saraswati river. So maybe Veda is written somewhere else and it is not part of India and all that. The Englishman did play havoc with this. But in 1982, when Professor Yashpal was the head of the space agency, they used the satellite and discovered that the Saraswati river does exist and it is under the ground now. For a variety of geological reasons, it has gone underground. And so today, nobody will say that Saraswati river is a mythical river. It does exist and it is underground. Similarly, Dwarka. Krishna's Dwarka, where is it? The Englishman used to say that the Mahabharata is a bogus thing. Where is this Dwarka where Krishna was supposed to have been the Raja and all that? And there is no sign of that kind of civilization. Harappa's all these ruins you can see. Where is the Dwarka? After all, Krishna was 3000 BC, and around the same time or a little after the Harappa Mohenjo-daro. And where is the remains of Dwarka? But Dr. S.R. Rao, the Director General Archaeological Survey of India, with his team did 5 years of research underwater. In 1995 discovered that Dwarka does exist as a whole city, but all under the sea, because there was an earthquake in year 12 AD, and which brought the whole Dwarka under the ocean. And now the government of India has given 1,000 crores to the Archaeological Survey of India to lift all the remains of Dwarka and put it in a museum, and they are going to call it Krishna Nagar Dwarka and show it to the whole world. So Dwarka till yesterday Dwarka was mythical, and today science has proved to be real. How do we know that this Rama Setu, once you have an investigation, will not turn out to be man-made, and therefore it is man-made? Obviously it was made in the time of Ramayana. And therefore we have to look at it. Karunanidhi's insistence, and in my opinion Sonia Gandhi's insistence also, she is also very determined. The Prime Minister, who is a friend of mine for 40 years, you know that he is a very good man, very honest man, very educated man, but he was born without a spinal cord, so therefore he is not able to take a stand. But privately he tells me where the pressures are coming from, and both these people are insistent that the Rama Setu must be broken. Now I personally feel that we have to go into this question as to why this kind of why we are doing this kind of thing. Now I would say, therefore, economically also, and I will try to conclude after that, economically this project is a complete waste of money, because you will be making only losses. What is the argument for profit? That ships will come to Tuticorin, presently have to go around, they will spend 30 hours, more fuel, ship fuel will be spent, so make all the cost that will be saved if they go this way. They will save 30 hours, then that means so much fuel less, and therefore so much cost less, and 50% of that we will apply as tariff, and we will recover the cost of the project. This is what they are saying. Now, after all, first of all, which ships will be going through this channel? Only ships with less than 30,000 deadweight tonnage weight, because the 12 feet furrow, deep furrow, is only sufficient for ships of the weight of 30,000 or less tonnage. So what percentage of ships are less than 30,000 tonnage today? Only 5%. 95% of the ships are above 30,000. In fact, they are above 60,000. About 10 years ago, the number of ships in the world which had tonnage of 30,000 or less was 20%. It is now down to 5%, and I am told in another 10 years there will be 0%, because they are going for larger and larger ships. So 10 years hence you will not have any ships being able to go, except ships belonging to T.R. Balu's company, which are all less than 30,000, and boats belonging to LTT, which are also less than 30,000. This appears to be a project to help Mr. T.R. Balu to earn money, and perhaps the LTT to do its nefarious activities, because the DMK is a close ally of the LTT, and that's why it is being done. So that is one aspect. Second is, you say that the ships will save time by going through the channel. Take a ship coming from Mauritius, going to Calcutta. Will it use the Setu Samudram channel or go around Sri Lanka? Well, if it goes around Sri Lanka, then it will go at full speed, which is possible in open seas, and that is 12 knots, 14 knots per hour. Whereas if it comes to the Setu Samudram project, the project report itself says that it has to slow down to 4 knots or 5 knots. It cannot go